It knocked me right backward off of my 2 feet. My glasses fogged up in a white and misty haze. I felt like I was walking in a jungle maze. The tropical humidity was filling up the room. I knew that I was facing a financial doom. I checked the little dial hanging on the hall. The number that I saw made my skin start to crawl. 75, I shouted with a gasp, burning up the money in a fiery grasp. I grabbed a little wheel and I turned it to the left, feeling like the victim of a heated theft. 68 is plenty, I announced to the cat. Put on a sweater if you don't like that. I walked into the kitchen to get a drink of ice, thinking that the temperature was feeling mighty nice. But then I heard footsteps coming down the stair. My wife was walking with a chilly glare. She wore a heavy parka and a woolly hat. She looked like she was freezing where she sat. It's an igloo in here, she chattered with her teeth. I'm shivering underneath my laurel wreath. She marched to the hallway with a determined stride. I knew there was nowhere for me to hide. It's the thermostat war, the battle of the heat. Neither one of us is gonna admit defeat. She wants the Bahamas, I want the bank. I'm guarding the meter like a military tank. Up and down, the needle goes around. The most expensive game in the whole town. Whoa! Whoa! I waited till she left to go and watch TV. Then I snuck back to the hallway silently. I turned it back down to a sensible degree, thinking that I'd won the victory. But she has ears like a radar dish. She caught me acting like a sneaky fish. I saw that she yelled from the living room chair, don't you dare touch that dial, don't you dare. But honey, I pleaded, the bill is due next week. The price of natural gas is at a peak. I don't care, she shouted, I can see my breath. I don't wanna freeze to a winter death. We fought all evening in a cold and hot war, pacing back and forth across the wooden floor. She turned it up, I turned it down. The craziest couple in the entire town. The furnace was confused, it was clicking on and off, starting to develop a mechanical cough. I went to the garage and I found a roll of tape, looking for a frantic and a desperate escape. I take the dial firmly at 69, drawing a firm and a boundary line. Do not touch, I wrote in a marker red, hoping to put this argument to bed. I woke up in the morning, sweating in my sheets, dreaming of fire and burning summer streets. I kicked off the blankets and I gasped for air. The heat was rising everywhere. I ran to the hallway to check the score. My tape was peeling off of the door. The dial was broken, hanging by a wire. The furnace was roaring like a bonfire. She smiled at me while drinking hot tea. Oops, she said, it broke off, you see. Now it's stuck on 80, tropical and hot, and I'm the sweaty loser in the plot. Why can't we agree on a happy middle ground? 71 degrees is safe and sound, but it's fire or ice, there is no in between. The fiercest winter battle that you've ever seen. It's the thermostat war, the battle of the heat. Neither one of us is gonna admit defeat. She wants the Bahamas, I want the bank. I'm guarding the meter like a military tank. Up and down, the needle goes around. The most expensive game in the whole town. I looked out the window at the beautiful white. It had fallen softly in the middle of the night. The world was a blanket, pristine and clean, the prettiest picture that I'd ever seen. But then I remembered I had to go to work, and a pain in my back began to lurk. The driveway was buried 3 feet deep, a mountain of trouble while I was asleep. I put on my boots and I put on my coat, feeling a lump inside of my throat. I grabbed the orange shovel from the garage wall, preparing for the labor, preparing for the haul. I stepped outside and the wind hit my face, moving at a brutal and a freezing pace. I stuck the shovel in, it hit a patch of ice. This wasn't gonna be easy, wasn't gonna be nice. I lifted the first load and threw it to the side, swallowing my anger and swallowing my pride. One road down and 40 more to go. shoveling the heavy and the watery snow. My breath was puffing like a chimney stack. I felt a little twinge in my lower back. It's good cardio, I lied to myself, wishing I was an elf upon a shelf. I'm shoveling the driveway, shoveling the pain, doing it in snow and doing it in rain. My heart is pumping like a diesel truck. I'm cursing my life and I'm cursing my luck. Lift and throw, the never-ending battle with the winter snow. Finished, I cleared a little path after an hour of nature's wrath. I leaned on a handle, wiping off the sweat, the hardest workout that I'd ever met. I looked at the asphalt, black and clear, and let out a triumph on a winter cheer. But then I heard a rumble coming down the street, a sound that swept me off of my feet. The city plow was coming big and yellow and loud, pushing a giant and a dirty cloud. He drove right past with a malicious grin and buried my driveway all over again. A wall of sludge, solid as a rock, blocked my exit like a concrete block. The ice chunks were heavy, the snow was gray, ruining my entire winter day. I shook my fist at the driver driving by. I wanted to sit down and I wanted to cry. I picked up the shovel, heavier than lead, wishing that I had just stayed in bed. This stuff was packed tight, frozen and hard, like shoveling cement in the front yard. My shoulders were burning, my legs were weak, my future was looking incredibly bleak. The neighbor was watching with a snowblower machine, the most jealous sight that I have ever seen. He walked behind it with a casual stroll while I was losing control of my soul. He waved a hand and shouted, "Looking good." I didn't answer him, I just stood. 2 hours later I crawled through the door. I collapsed in a heap on the kitchen floor. I couldn't feel my fingers, couldn't feel my toes. My face was red as a winter rose. I cleared the driveway, I paid the cost, but I know tomorrow it'll all be lost. They say that the winter is a wonderland, but I assume they have a shovel in their hand. My spine is twisted and my muscles are sore. I don't think I can do this anymore. I tried to start my car to warm up my bones, but the engine made some terrible groans. The battery is frozen, the windshield is wide. I'm facing another windshield scrape fight.
Ready to get in the car and go. I grabbed the handle and gave it a yank, but the door was sealed like a frozen bank. The rubber was stuck to the metal frame, playing a stubborn winter game. I hip-checked the door with a mighty thud, slipping around in the frozen mud. It popped open with a cracking sound, like a gunshot fire in an icy round. I climbed inside to the driver's seat, for a little bit of engine heat. But the windshield was covered in a sheet of glaze, thick enough to last for 100 days. I turned on the wipers, a rookie mistake. I heard the rubber motor start to break. They were frozen solid to the glass. This morning was turning into a farce. I looked in the glove box for the plastic tool, the one I bought at the auto school. But it wasn't there, it was lost and gone, and the clock was ticking towards the dawn. I searched under the seat and on the floor. I couldn't find the scraper anymore. Yeah! It's a windshield scrape, the morning grind, looking for a tool that I can't find. I'm late for work and I'm freezing my hand, living in this frozen and forsaken land. Scrape, scrape, scratch and claw, waiting for the spring and the summer thaw. In my wallet for a substitute, something sturdy and sharp and cute. I pulled out my Visa Platinum Grade, the most expensive scraper that I ever made. I stepped outside in the biting wind to pay for the weather sins I'd sinned. at the eye level spots, giving it everything that I got. The credit card bent and the numbers wore off. I let out a dry and a freezing cough. I made a tiny hole about the size of a pea, just enough for a driver to barely see. My knuckles were dragging on the bumpy ice. This method wasn't working very nice. The shavings were flying into my face. I was losing the morning commuting race. I tried the library card, it snapped in two. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I turned on the defrost to the maximum blast, hoping the ice would melt real fast. But the air coming out was cold and dry. I looked at the heavens and asked them why. I was huddled in my coat like a frozen bear, pulling out handfuls of my hair. The neighbor walked by with a can of de-ice. He looked at my struggle and gave advice. Hot water will crack it, he said with a grin. I knew that advice was a mortal sin. Get out of here, Bob, I shouted loud, addressing the neighborhood morning crowd. Finally I scraped a hole like a tank, looking like I'd just robbed a bank. Peering through a porthole 3 inches wide, with absolutely zero dignity or pride. I put the car in gear and rolled away, starting another freezing winter day. I need a garage, I need a heated space. I'm tired of the wind in my frozen face. Using my credit to scrape off the frost is a terrible and a heavy cost. I need a garage, I need a heated space. I'm tired of the wind in my frozen face. Using my credit to scrape off the frost is a terrible and a heavy cost. Yeah! Yeah!
I parked the car and I walked to the mail. The wind was blowing an icy gale. The sidewalk looked dry, it looked concrete, safe enough for my 2 feet. But lurking there in the shadow dim was a patch of ice, silent and grim. I took a step with a confident stride, with a little bit of a winter pride. But suddenly friction left the town, and gravity decided to pull me down. My left foot went east, my right went west, putting my balance to the ultimate test. My arms started spinning like a windmill blade, the craziest dance that I ever made. I was grabbing at the air, grabbing at the sky, looking like a bird trying to fly. My coffee cup flew in a perfect arc, a caffeinated comet in the park. I did the splits like a disco star. I didn't know I could stretch that far. My groin muscle gave a warning shout. What are you doing, you crazy loud? But I wobbled and tipped like a spinning top, waiting for the moment that I would drop. I'm slipping on the ice, the winter dance, doing a tango in my work pants. Whoa, watch out below, I'm putting on a slapstick comedy show. My feet are fast, but the ground is slick. It's nature's meanest magic trick. I saved it once, I stood up straight, thinking I had mastered my icy fate. But the ice wasn't finished, not yet, my friend. It wanted to see me break and bend. My heel hit a lump and I slid back down, the clumsiest circus clown in town. I grabbed the mailbox to break my fall, but I ripped it right off a retaining wall. Now I was falling with a box in my hand. This wasn't exactly what I had planned. The letters went flying into the snow, a tragic finale to the show. I hit the ground with a heavy thud, right in a patch of frozen mud. My dignity shattered into a million bits, along with my frozen and aching hips. I lay there looking at the winter sky, wondering if I should laugh or cry. A teenager saw it from across the street. He was filming my impressive feat. That's going on YouTube, he yelled with glee. I realized I was viral history. I tried to stand up, but my legs were jelly. I landed back down on my winter belly. I crawled on all fours to the safety of grass, hoping this terrible moment would pass. My coat was wet and my pride was bruised. I was thoroughly battered and confused. Walking in winter is a dangerous sport. I need to file an accident report. I leaned back inside and locked the door. I swore I wouldn't go out anymore. I rubbed my back and I rubbed my knee and made a decision with clarity. This ice, this snow, this freezing pain, I'm never doing this ever again. My back is twisted, my mailbox is dead. I've got a lump on the back of my head. That was the last straw, the final blow. I'm packing my bags and I'm ready to go. I walked to the computer with a painful limp. I wasn't gonna be a winner or win. I typed in a website, realestate.com, searching for a place with a tropical palm.
I'm staring at the map on the glowing screen, looking for a place where the grass is green. No more shovels, no more salt. This winter weather is not my fault. I see a peninsula shaped like a gun, loaded with vitamin D and sun. I grabbed a suitcase from under the bed. The winter thoughts are leaving my head. I'm packing my shorts, I'm packing my shades, throwing away the ice scraper blades. I'm selling the snowblower for $50. I don't care if the engine sucks. Honey, I yell, get in the car. We're going someplace very far. We're driving south till the butter melts. We're loosening up our safety belts. Goodbye to the Parker, goodbye to the fleas. We're heading for a life of tropical peace. I put a for sale sign in the yard. Leaving this life wasn't very hard. The neighbor Bob asked, where you bound? I said anywhere but this frozen ground. I revved the engine and honked the horn. A brand new life was being born. I'm moving to Florida, Sunshine State. I'm done with the ice and I'm done with the hate. Gonna trade my boots for flip-flop shoes. Gonna wash away these winter blues. Palm trees swaying in the gentle breeze. 70 degrees is the deepest freeze. Florida, here I come. We hit the highway heading down I-95. I never felt so happy to be alive. The snow turned to rain, then the rain turned to sun. The migration journey had finally begun. I rolled down the window and felt the air messing up my remaining hair. We saw an alligator by the side of the road, a welcome sign to our new abode. I'd rather wrestle a gator in the swamp than do the freezing driveway stomp. The humidity hugged me like a warm embrace. A smile returned to my frozen face. We stopped at a diner for pecan pie underneath a blue and endless sky. The waitress called me sugar and hun. I knew that the battle was finally won. I ordered an iced tea with extra ice, and let me tell you, it felt real nice. We bought a condo near the ocean shore with a flamingo statue by the front door. The thermostat is set to 78 and nobody argues, it isn't up for debate. I'm wearing a shirt with a floral print, looking like a retirement man. I play shuffleboard and I walk on the sand with a cold margarita in my hand. I watch the Weather Channel just to see the blizzard back home in the misery. I laugh at the map all covered in white while I sit on my porch in the warm sunlight. So if you're freezing in the northern zone, shivering down to your very bone, just pack up the car and drive on down to the happiest, warmest rock in town. The deep freeze the ice is gone. I'm partying till the crack of dawn. They say the bugs are big and the humidity is high, but at least I don't have to scrape the sky. I'll take a mosquito over frostbite toe. Anywhere, anytime, don't you know? Pass the sunscreen, honey. Is that a dolphin? No snow shovels allowed.